r/Reddit. What expensive purchase have you made that has paid for itself many times over because you save money in the long run? 23 years ago, I bought a used 1991 Toyota 4-cylinder truck. Paid it off early. It's now 29 years old, and refuses to die. Good gas mileage to low insurance. I changed the oil myself. New windows on our house. Replaced the old single-pane metal-framed windows. It was like a waterfall of cold air coming off of them, and the noise from the street was obnoxious. Heating bill was cut in half. When I moved back to my hometown over a year ago, I bought a 27 sailboat to live on because rent here is outrageous. Boat cost $4,500 to buy, and mortgage at a decent marina is about $170 per month. Rent for a studio apartment or one bridge here is $900 to $1,300. Every month I save between $600 and $1,100, so the boat paid for itself in 4 to 9 months. Quality cold weather gear. Not only does it work better and look better, I've had a couple jackets for over 5 years now that see heavy use. Meanwhile, I have a couple friends that basically buy and throw away cheap gear every season. Works like crap, looks like crap, ends up in a landfill, costs more in the long run. Lose, 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 lose. I bought a 500.00 bicycle to use as my main transportation. 500 doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're only making 8 an hour, it took some time to save up for it. With public transportation being $2.50 a ride, the bike paid for itself in about 3 months. I used that bike for about 3 years. I still have it, but I moved so I can't use it for the same purposes. Thanks for the silver. Cheap shoes suck. I had to stop buying Skechers because they'd last me a year and start falling apart. Freaking rechargeable batteries. Xbox players save millions. I have a bike. Not even an expensive one, just a regular bike that I use to go to work every day. It's a half-hour ride. I no longer use public transportation or a car, so I save money on gas or metro tickets. Cycling an hour a day is enough to keep in okay shape, so I don't need to go to the gym. Best money I have ever spent. Laser printers are expensive up front, but they will save you lots of money by no longer needing cartridges. Also is less wasteful because of it. Edit cartridges, not cartilages. You don't even have to cut off that nose of yours. It's a dang steal. Also, one look at my inbox killed me inside. I guess thanks for that. When my wife and I first started dating, she wanted to learn to cut hair and wanted a pair of scissors that cost $25, which was a lot for us then. She offered that if I bought her the scissors, she'd cut my hair for free as long as we were together. She lied. After 25 years, she declared that she'd repaid me for the scissors and was going to stop cutting my hair. Still not a bad deal. A really good water bottle and to-go mug. Stainless steel and insulated, not the most expensive purchase, but expensive for cups. It's so worth it. Electric hair clippers. $50, haven't paid for a haircut in 7 years. High quality tools. I've been through so many crappy tools, basically anything you can buy at the local OB. It's all made in China and not worth anything. Older German or British tools are fantastic and will last 100 years with some love. My wife and I just bought a house. The guy we bought the place from suggests that the house itself is somewhat expensive to heat and keep warm, so the first thing I looked at was the attic, and sure enough, there's 7 inches of insulation when there should be like 16. We're going to blast a few inches of insulation in there and probably save enough on oil to pay for it several times over throughout the life of the place. Taking an Uber home when drunk, then back to your car when not drunk. Way cheaper than a DUI or manslaughter conviction. Noise-blocking headphones have saved me money and lawyers from all the co-workers I would have killed. Kenmore washer and dryer purchase new from Sears in 1998. They are still going strong, and I guarantee when they do kick the bucket, the new washer and dryer I'll have to get from Lowe's will be lucky to last 10 years. Grew up playing goalie, literally ages 3 to 18 played travel hockey. Imagine a new set of gear for a growing boy every single year. Extremely thankful for my parents dedicating money and time towards my love of the game. I started a Buy Pingy Girly Gear fund that my friends and family donates to instead of buying me stuff for Christmas and birthdays. Eventually I'll have enough to buy a set of brinds that I can get custom coloring for. That way wife doesn't murder me for insurance money to feed the kids. Galvanized rubber, vulcanized. Unless you were using zinc-plated pucks. I live in Minnesota and am a single woman. One winter I missed 2 shifts at work because my car wouldn't start and I didn't have anyone who could jump it, and roadside assistance couldn't be there for hours. After that I went out and spent a little over $100 on a portable car starter. It is a small black box that connects to the battery and jumps the car without needing someone else's car. This has saved me so much time and money. Also, being a single girl who at the time worked at night, I didn't have to worry that some stranger stopping to help might have ulterior motives. I feel much safer and always keep it in my purse. Added bonus, I can charge my phone with it too. I've been singing its praises ever since. Hydraulic floss has helped me keep my teeth so much cleaner, saving so much on dental. High-quality kettle. Technically I didn't spend a lot money on it, but my grandma did, and I got it when she passed away. By the look of the handles it's probably 20 to 30 years old, but the actual kettle is still in better condition than a kettle I purchased 5 years ago. Bidet. Not super expensive but saves on toilet paper. I've used it for about a year and I love it. So years ago when I started a warehouse job I dropped about $170 on a pair of decent Red Wing boots. Everyone I worked with said it was ridiculous, but they would go through a pair of cheap boots a month. I still have my original pair, but I need to retire them. Sewing machine. Years ago my wife and I had a Starbucks Verismo Espresso Machine. Each pod cost $1 and we'd each use 2 every day. That's $4 per day, so we were spending upwards of $28 per week just on coffee. Still cheaper than Starbucks, but we grew tired of the pod trash and having to find the coffee pods we liked. So, we decided to purchase a Jura Micro 1 coffee machine. It grinds and pressure brews coffee and espresso. We were able to reduce our costs from $4 per day to less than 20 cents per day, assuming $5 per pound coffee bought in bulk. The machine was $800, but it paid for itself in less than 8 months. That was 4 years ago this month. We've saved over $5,000 in that time. Plus no more pod trash, and we get to choose whatever coffee beans we want, rather than being limited to what was in pods. I bought a $60 bidet attachment for my toilet back in September. Not expensive, but it sure is paying for itself right now. Maybe not what you're looking for, but cloth diapers. My wife and I cloth diapered with our first child, and are using them again for our second. The initial investment was hefty. We spent just shy of $500 for about 30 diapers. However, we don't buy disposable at all. I have conservatively said we would spend $100 a month on disposable. We cloth diapered till my daughter was 2.5 years old, so 30 months. That's roughly $3,000, so saving about $2,500. With our second child, there is no upfront cost since we still have the diapers, and he turns 9 months old in 2 weeks, so another $900 saved. Now this isn't perfect, I understand the added cost of water and detergent, but I know that's negligible based on laundry for a 4-person household anyways when you figure bulk detergent and he washes. My wife would also say the environmental impact of not throwing diapers into landfills. I went to one of those shoe stores that does a 3D scan of your feet. I got scanned and learned that instead of having flat feet like I had thought for years, I actually have high arches. I got a pair of $120 sneakers with a pair of $50 arch supports. No more knee pain. Edit. Fleet Feet was the store I went to, but I'm sure there are others. Espresso Machine. I'm an ex-barista, so I know how to make most fancy beverages, but I didn't have the equipment. I'm also addicted to coffee, so my household was easily spending $10 minus 20 per day on beverages. I bought a $90 basic espresso machine with foam wand, and I spent another $60 in startup materials, nice coffee, milks, ice tray, reusable straws, and a few syrups. I kept a detailed log of my expenses for the first few months, and each drink came out to be about $1.60 in materials. I generally make at least 2 beverages a day, and it saves us till $300 per month. Climbing rope can be pretty expensive on a dirtbag budget, but it is significantly less expensive than a hospital stay or a funeral. I wish I could say Heartworm Prevention. On Chewy.com it's like $30 for a pack of 6 or something like that. It turns out to $5 a month. Now my dog is on his last heartworm shot. After buying into a wellness plan, his shots are still $250. This one is his 3rd in a month. Buy Heartworm Prevention for your dogs, people. It's so much cheaper than these shots. Decent coffee maker. Espresso maker. I drink 2 double shots a day. That thing paid for itself within a month. I also don't need to leave the house. Making the espresso takes literally 1 minute, and quality even with pre-ground coffee is better than of non-cafe coffee from around the corner. Now, the grinder is something I still have to justify for myself. As of yet I'm too stubborn to pay a reasonable price for orders of magnitude better tasting coffee. Edit. Just to clarify, I didn't mean anything fancy. The espresso maker I bought was about $150 at the time. It's not amazing, but like I said, it paid for itself and lets me stay at home, which as of now is more valuable than I could have foreseen. I will buy a grinder someday, but I'm not looking to buy one right now. My homemade coffee I just drink for the caffeine. And I have a lot of other stuff of higher priority that has to be paid for. A few years ago, I walked the Camino de Santiago, French way, which is 800 kilometers. I had never been on such a long hike before, but on shorter trips, I always had trouble with my feet. I'd get terrible blisters on long days and lose toenails on mountain descents. I purchased, because my crappy insurance would pay, services from a podiatrist before going on the Camino. I learned a lot about maintaining my feet, and I had no trouble on the Camino and have not had any blisters or lost nails since then. I essentially paid the podiatrist for a lesson in foot care. For women, I would say a menstrual cup. You can even find cheaper options than the Diva cup, but man, the amount of money that I'm saving on not buy pads and tampons is amazing. If you're a woman who is struggling financially, a one-time payment for the menstrual cup is an amazing investment. Plan B. So many unanswered questions. If the cow jumped over the lazy fox, why did the dog run away with the spoon? Why? And why won't you smash the subscribe button and like the button on it? Don't forget to check back tomorrow for more fantastic wondersome.